HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. Rob and I are bonding over the World Cup. Rob told me one of the biggest lies I have ever heard in my entire life. We'll get to that over the course of today's show. We're going to talk about Giannis. I do think that Giannis gets traded at some point between now and the start of the NBA draft. The Washington Wizards are still trying to determine who the number one overall pick is going to be. We'll get to that. We got a lot of World Cup. Is the United States good at soccer? There is so much for us to discuss. But before we get there, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, and I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I would greatly appreciate it. And number three, and most importantly, I need you guys to go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. Today is one of my favorite promotions that they do. It is a Burger and Brew Monday. I was actually there on Friday watching the United States. I was at the Mission location. Rob, they have some commemorative cups to celebrate the occasion. So if you want to go out there, get yourself a beer, get one of these commemorative cups, and you also want to get yourself a burger and brew for a Monday and continue to watch the World Soccer Championships, you can do that at any one of the Area 5 locations. Go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. So I want to start today's show a little bit different than how we usually would start the show and how we usually would kick off the week. Now, it should go without saying, but sometimes I always feel like we have to make these disclaimers before we do certain topics. Everybody supports local business. I don't think that I am taking some wild stance in telling you that I am all for local entrepreneurs and local businesses to make as much money as they possibly can. But I do think that we have learned two very important lessons with the World Cup being here. The first lesson I think we have learned is that we were wrong about this thing. This is not a regional event. And the way that it was presented was that it was going to be a regional event, is that people were going to be staying all over town. You were going to see a boom in Olathe. Some people were going to be staying in Lawrence. Some people were going to be staying north of the river. That just our city, our community was just going to be overrun with all of these tourists, all of these international people, and it was going to be crazy. We were wrong. And I have not been to every part of the city, but I kind of been around. And I think we can now definitively say about the World Cup, it is a downtown event. If you do not live or work downtown or frequent downtown, the World Cup is not bothering you. I work in Kansas. I live downtown. I drive over to Kansas. My commute to work has not been impacted at all by the World Cup. I think one of the talking points that we had for a couple of years was everybody thinking that the money was just going to spread all across the city. That is not what's happening. The money seems to be in a couple of areas. I was on the plaza yesterday for Father's Day. It was a lot of people in soccer jerseys out and about on the plaza. I live downtown. I go on a walk every single day. I'm doing my 10,000 steps. Wow, I'm averaging 14,000 steps a day in the month of June. I'm still on it. Even though I ain't talking about it every day, I'm still out on my walks. It is people crawling downtown. It's people on the corner selling hot dogs. It's people selling jerseys and scarves and little soccer balls. It is people sitting out eating and drinking and having a good time. The World Cup is a downtown event. That's where the majority of people are. Now, why I think that is important is I think the news, in some ways, they're taking the low-hanging fruit. You know what the news loves to sell sometimes? They love to sell extremes. They love a story that makes you really feel good. They also love a story that if you are on the opposite side of something, you can point to it and say, see, I told you it wasn't going to work. For whatever reason, I'm on my timeline this weekend, and I see a story in the Kansas City Star. Now, again, I want to give you this caveat. We all support local businesses. This local story was about a woman who owned a small French coffee shop in the Crossroads, and how she was frustrated that she felt like the World Cup was negatively impacting her business. She thought she was going to get more foot traffic than she is getting. It's also keeping some of the locals away that maybe go to this coffee shop. Now, I feel for the woman, but if you own a small coffee shop in the Crossroads, I don't know why you thought that you were now going to have some pot of gold and now all of these people were coming to your small coffee shop. The tourists are going to 3 places. They are going to Fan Fest. They are going to the Plaza. They are going to Power and Light. If you do not have a business that does not operate in one of those 3 locations, I'm sorry to tell you, things might not be working out for you when it comes to this World Cup thing. So that was the Kansas City Star story. Let me play you the 41 News story, because this is about a restaurant in the Midtown also not feeling the World Cup boom.
If you're local, keep coming to your local establishments. If you take nothing else from this report, that's the big highlight. I spoke with 2 local businesses in the Midtown area who told me that the downtown action, it's not really coming through their doors. One of these business owners, Good Karma Coffee behind me near 31st and Gillum, says he never really focused on the World Cup action to begin with. But the other says he was expecting World Cup crowds. But both visitors and locals aren't walking through his doors as of late. So at Good Karma Coffee House, the owner, Brian Roberts, he admits people thought he was crazy for not leaning into all this World Cup tie-ins. Instead, he leaned into his Hyde Park and Union Hill regulars. He even told them months ago that his spot would be a safe haven from the tournament crowds. But just a few blocks away on Main Street, Hammer's Dueling Piano Bar started opening early to capture game day foot traffic that never came. Co-owner Brett Dowell says street carts have been driving by full, but hardly anyone's stepping off near where he is in Midtown. Both of them agree locals are steering clear because they think it's too busy, but that's not necessarily true because a lot of the party has stayed downtown.
You can watch the streetcars come by just filled, but nobody's getting off at other locations than downtown, Crossroads, Power and Light.
Locals will show up and they will support us as long as they've gained that trust and we haven't burnt them chasing shiny objects.
I imagine many of you have traveled to other places. Now, I can't speak for how other people travel, but I'm here to tell you how I travel. I travel like a tourist. I've been to LA one time. Rob, you know the one restaurant I told my friend I wanted to eat at when I was in LA? I wanted to go to Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. When I've been to New Orleans, I went to New Orleans earlier this year. Rob, I don't really hang out too many other places other than Bourbon Street. Why do I need to go to these other places? Bourbon Street has everything I need. It's got the music, it's got the culture, it's got the food, it's got the drinks, it's got the beads. Where else do I need to go on this trip? I understand that's not how everybody travels. I'm just telling you that is how I travel. I travel like a tourist. And I think what is very unique about this event and what we are learning is the tourists that come here, they travel like tourists. And we don't really see Kansas City as having touristy places where if you live in Chicago, you go to Navy Pier. If you live in Seattle, the tourists go to the fish market. You've seen it on Sunday Night Football. They're throwing the fish around. If you go to New Orleans, you go down to Bourbon Street. If you go to Las Vegas, you go to the Strip. We just don't look at where we live as having touristy places, but the tourists are telling us where the touristy places are. The same thing happened during the NFL draft. The same thing is happening now. Eventually, we will get the Super Bowl, and we will have this same conversation again. There's going to be all of these people that think because you own some nail shop on 135th and Metcalf that you are about to get big because all of these people are coming in for the Super Bowl. I'm here to tell you the answer is no. I love the Crossroads. I really do. Who doesn't love the Crossroads? That's one of Rob's favorite parts of the city, and Rob lives on 135th. He lives 40 minutes away from the Crossroads. The tourists are not going there. You know where the tourists are going? The tourists are going to the plaza. They are going to downtown where they have created Tourist Fest. They're calling it Fan Fest, but it's Tourist Fest. They're going to Power and Light where they have seen on televisions the big watch parties, and they are going to the barbecue restaurants because that's where we tell them to go. If somebody was not from Kansas City and they asked you, what should you do? You would not tell them to go to the Crossroads. You would say, oh, well, you got to go to do this. You got to do this. You don't think the tourists are listening? You don't think the tourists are on Instagram? You don't think they're on TikTok? You don't think they're on Google? They're being pushed in this direction. In the end, I want to see everybody win. It's better when everybody wins. But for the next however many days, there is a tourist part of town right now, and that's where they had decided they want to go. That's where the city is telling them to go. They got all the local food spots inside of this Fan Fest. The streetcar is right there. They're having big time watch parties. So I'm sorry, KCK, nobody is coming to your watch parties. Who do you think is coming? If I'm looking at one watch party has the Chainsmokers, one they're showing on Fox whenever the U.S. or another country scores a goal. Why are people driving over to KCK for a watch party? What are they supposed to be watching? I'm only doing this open because I just want us to store this. We will get more touristy events in the future. We've had, 2 of these in the last 5 years, and the complaints continue to be the same. So yes, your small flower shop is going to be affected for the 2-3 weeks. And I'm sorry that is the case. But you are seeing in real time that when people who are not from Kansas City decide to travel to Kansas City, they have told us what they want to do. They want to go to the plaza and shop. They want to go down to Power and Light and drink and hang out and watch the game. They want to go to Fan Fest. They want to go to Jack Stack at the Freight House. They want to go to Gates. They want to go to Joe's. These are the things that we all know are amazing, but we just do them so much. We don't look at Kansas City through the eyes of a tourist. So seeing the World Cup come here and seeing how the people who are not from here treat Kansas City should give us a lot of information on how to handle this stuff moving forward. Eventually, we will get the Super Bowl. Eventually, we will get WrestleMania. Eventually, we will get another super big people coming in from all walks of life. And there will be all of these people that think, man, I'm about to get rich. Oh, all these wrestling fans are coming here. Or all these football fans are coming here. I'm here to tell you they ain't coming. Unless you own Mosaic. Unless you own Shark Bar. Unless you own restaurant or bar that's on the streetcar line, because those people, they eating down there. They getting a lot of people down there. I'm sorry, that is not working out for everybody else. Coming up on the other side, I want to ask Rob for the first time in my life, are we, the United States, good at soccer? I want to hear what his answer is. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
As World Soccer hits the big stage, Fanatics Sportsbook is making every game day worth more. Earn up to 10% fan cash on your soccer bets, win or lose. That's real extra value you can unlock every match, all tournament long. And fan cash isn't just for betting. You can use it anywhere in the world of Fanatics. On game tickets, merchandise, collectibles, profit boosts, and more. One ecosystem, endless ways to spend. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in fan cash. That's $100 bet match every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Ins 8-1 exclusions apply.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Second World War is the largest event in human history.
A 20-part series with Tom Hanks.
No part of the globe was untouched. No life unchanged.
Experience the ultimate account of World War II.
Every single person had a story. These are the stories that make us who we are.
Listen to World War II with Tom Hanks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Can I tell you guys about my Friday? So this is what happened on Friday. You know, we didn't have to work, but I filled in on series. So afterwards, I hit Rob up, and I'm like, hey, Rob, you know, let's watch the game together. I love to watch the United States game with you. You know, we watched the first game together. We're going to watch the third game together. Why don't we just complete the cycle here and watch all the group stage? You can tell when somebody doesn't really want to hang out with you. Oh man, I'm just going to hang out with Carolina. You guys aren't going to watch the game. Why can't I be there? I was like, you know what, Rob? I get it. It's your team. This is a step up in competition. So you know what? You got it, man. So I went to the other place over in Mission. It was great. Had a great time. Some friends met me there. We're watching the game. I'm sitting there and I had an epiphany. Now, I don't think I've ever had this epiphany in my entire life. Rob, are we good at soccer? Because I watched them play Paraguay, and we smoked Paraguay. Just absolutely smoked them. Now, I started watching this game against Australia. Now, even though I'm the second foremost voice on soccer in Kansas City, I don't know a whole lot about it, and I don't really watch a whole lot of it. But I could tell that Australia was a little bit better than Paraguay. I could tell that they were actually noticeably better than Paraguay. I was thinking, all right, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good test. There was never a time in which I thought the U.S. was going to lose that game. I thought they were obviously the better team between them. They won this game 2-0. They scored both of the goals in the first half, really coasted in the second half. I mean, Australia maybe challenged to score one goal, but again, there was never a time watching that where I thought Australia was going to beat the United States. And I had this epiphany, and I just text Rob. I would have just turned over and asked Rob, but he didn't want to see me on Friday. Rob, are we good at soccer? Because I'm a little confused right now. I'm a little conflicted on what to believe right now because the way they're dominating this thing so far. What's your take on this? What's your read on this? This is your team.
So it's funny. On Saturday, friend of the show, John Kurtz, texted me, and he was like, hey, were you listening to postgame yesterday? And I was like, I hate Alexi Lalas, so no. And he was like, well, Zlatan said they can win it all. Is that a real thing? Is that a real conversation, the USA winning it all? And I said, no. Here's the cross-sport comparison I made to John Kurtz. I will bring it to you on air because I think you'll understand it. The United States is 2024 Tennessee Volunteer football. Tennessee was like 15 in the preseason poll. That's what the United States is. They're 17 in the FIFA rankings. You know what Tennessee did that year? They thumped an FCS opponent. That's what America has done. They thumped an FCS opponent. Good for them. Then there was a 25th ranked NC State team. Tennessee smoked that team. United States played Australia. They're like 24th in the world. Took care of business. You felt like, wow, Tennessee can do something special this year. There's a belief among Tennessee fans this is going to be different. But you know what happened that year? Tennessee eventually lost to Georgia. They did not play in the SEC title game, and they lost in the first round of the college football playoff. That's how I feel about the United States. It is going to be an incredible journey. They are a good team. They have a chance to be better than we've ever experienced in our lifetime. They are eventually going to bump into a Georgia. They're eventually going to bump into Argentina, France, Spain, Brazil. The countries you know that have won the thing over and over again, they are not going to be able to compete with those teams at this level. But that doesn't take away from the joy of maybe making the college football playoff and losing to the Ohio State and the journey of, oh, wow, we're 10-2, look what we're doing. But you're doing it against the riffraff bottom of the SEC, a down Florida team. It doesn't take away from the journey, but there is a different echelon the United States just has not reached yet.
The text line is making this analogy, and I think you will appreciate this. C-Dot, I'm guessing this is like winning the AFC or NFC South. Do you think that's what the United States is doing? Do you think the United States is just the Carolina Panthers? Do you think that the United States, they're just the New Orleans Saints? Which, hey, that's fun. I'm not knocking that. That's cool with me. I'm fine with it. Is that what we're talking about?
So yes and no, because I think that's a good analogy, but it'd be a better analogy if it'd be the, whatever Texan team beat Joe Flacco's Browns. I think they can win a round of 32, maybe a round of 16 game. They can beat in Egypt head-to-head. They can beat a Bosnia and Herzegovina. They can beat Ecuador. That's how the bracket's shaking out. It also shakes out that in the quarterfinal, you got Spain. They ain't beating Spain. It's not happening. So there is a lot of reasons to be excited. There is a ceiling to what they can accomplish. And even if the bracket breaks right, It ain't like in this, Final Four, a team can be like, man, we're facing a 16 seed. That's awesome. Eventually, a good team arises on the other side.
Someone on the text line, very mad, says, oh, yeah, there goes Mr. Negativity again. I thought Rob had turned over a new leaf and found positivity in his life, but I guess I was wrong. Rob, all I heard you say is the United States is doing well. They're just not on the level of Spain or Argentina, which I felt like I knew that coming into it. But I will say, this is fun. I enjoy watching this team. I told you guys this last week. United States men's soccer is the only team that can exceed expectations. No other national team that we follow, no other national team that we keep track of how they're doing can exceed expectations because the expectations are always at the top. If the United States wins gold in men's basketball, you guys don't really care. If they win it in women's basketball, you don't really care. If they win it in gymnastics, all of those things, it's great. Yes, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. In soccer, it is the only thing that we go into it not expecting to win. So they are the only teams that kind of root themselves in, we are the underdogs. So I think it's good. I think it's fun. I'm watching this team. Now, I don't really know what to expect on Thursday. They don't really need to win on Thursday because they've already won their group. So I'm assuming they're going to kind of half play it and maybe not start some guys. I don't expect Christian Pulisic to play. But once we get to the single elimination, and once we get to you need to win this game to advance, if there's one thing that America understands, it's single elimination tournaments. We love a single elimination tournament. The United States qualified for the single elimination soccer tournament.
I also think it's like a good problem to have. The United States has exceeded expectations to the point where people are excited, and people on the text line are calling me negative. Making the quarterfinal would quite literally be tied for the best ever the United States has done in the World Cup. At the modern World Cup. I know in 1934, pre-World War II, they made the semis. There were 12 teams. Who cares? It doesn't count. They made the quarterfinals in 2002. They haven't been past the round of 16 in forever. That's the best they've ever done. I'm saying I think they can do that again. The bracket has broken right. I think eventually, though, when everything breaks right, they're going to bump into a Spain who probably beats them. And let's say you pull the upset. You then face Brazil. You're not playing three of the big dogs back to back to back and winning the tournament. But it's going to be an excellent journey that I think could end in the best tournament we've ever seen in the United States. I feel like it's crazy now. Before the tournament, I said, dream a dream, quarterfinal. I'm saying the same thing, and now I'm negative.
Because you cheer for Mizzou. Have I not been saying that from the very beginning? Do you not see what it's now in real time? You're me. Have you ever noticed when the Missouri fans get mad at me? It's normally for having the stance that you have. Hey, Missouri's good. They're just not Alabama. What? How dare you say that? See what I mean? It ain't no fun when the shoe's on the other foot. Someone just texted in, man, I'm glad Rob wasn't around when the Americans beat the Russian. Rob, do you not believe in miracles? Text line is telling you the United States can win the Men's World Cup. That's what they're telling you. So they're telling you, Rob, you need to either get with it or get lost because they're winning it. You know what? You and Tim Howard, Mr. Negativity.
The U.S. cannot unequivocally win the World Cup. The U.S. will have to play the greatest game they've ever played 3 times in a row. Sorry, 4 games in a row. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It is literally impossible for the U.S. to win the World Cup. That's going to come across crazy. People are going to say I'm whatever. That's just the reality. But we're super excited for this ride we're on.
I think you and Tim Howard are being negative.
We have the same opinion. It's great ride.
I know you have the same opinion. I'm just saying that's a negative opinion to have. And you need to catch this soccer wave that people are on. People don't want that. Sometimes this job, Rob, is selling the public what they want. And they want optimism. They want you to tell them the Chiefs are going to go undefeated. How dare you come on here and say the Chiefs are going to win 11 games this year? How dare you do that?
It's crazy me speaking of the Chiefs. The fan base that celebrated beating the Texans like they'd accomplished something is now hearing the quarterfinal is too low of an expectation. Niall Davis returns one kick and the Chiefs have a parade. And I'm saying greatest tournament ever in American soccer history, and I'm being the hater. Just what a wild ride we're on right now.
I don't know. I'm here telling you that I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything. I didn't know who this, what's the guy's, Baugan, what's his first name?
Flo. Just go with Flo.
Well, what's his name for real? I don't know what his name is.
I believe it's pronounced I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know the guy's name. I didn't know who he was until last week. I had never met the man before. I had never seen him. I had never heard of him before.
Because it's Florin or Florine. I don't know if it's Rin or Rhine.
I didn't know. I'd never met this guy before. I never heard of him. And now he's the best soccer player in America. So much so, we talked about him last week. The text line was very mad at me for my opinion on Baugen. So I was just scrolling. And then I saw they did a little Sports Center story so we can hear about how he became a U.S. citizen. Listen to this.
The butterfly effect is crazy because a couple people decided a woman was too pregnant to fly, and now U.S. soccer is going to win the World Cup. Incredible to think that a seemingly unrelated moment could have such ripple effects. But if you're not familiar with the lore, allow me to explain. Now, a woman named Florence visited New York in 2001 while 7 months pregnant. And when she attempted to board her return flight home to London, an airline staffer wouldn't let her fly due to the size of her belly. So, on July 3rd, 2001, Folarin Balogun was born in Brooklyn and thus a U.S. citizen. Now, he returned to London with his parents when he was 2 months old, where he grew up. And at 8 years old, he was scouted and joined Arsenal, coming up through Arsenal's academy, and signed a professional contract in 2019. So his parents are Nigerian. He grew up in London, was born in the U.S., so he was eligible to play with Nigeria, England, or U.S. on the global stage. So despite playing for England's under-21 squad, the red, white, and blue actively recruited Flo with a clear path to a major role on the team, which made the decision for Balogun, in his words, quote, a no-brainer. So now he's given the U.S. men's team something it had long been searching for, a proven dynamic goal scorer capable of changing games against the world's best competition. And he's able to do all of that because of an overly concerned airline employee looking out for the welfare of a pregnant woman in 2001.
You guys got mad at me last week when I offered up my opinion on this topic, so we don't have to double back and have to give my opinion again. It is kind of crazy to me that he is playing for Team USA. I understand the technicality and I understand the rule. That's crazy to me that he is on the United States men's soccer team. It's crazy to me that he's allowed to play on the team.
I don't understand why you think it's crazy. He was born in America.
No,
he's an American.
No, we 100% agree. I mean, there's no denying that. But I guess my argument would be if you and your wife go on vacation, and by some whatever happens, your daughter has to be born in Las Vegas, and then you come back to Kansas City, you would never tell people that your daughter is from Las Vegas. She would identify as a Kansas Citian because she is a Kansas City. That's where she grew up. That's where she went to school. That's where she learned. That's her custom, all of those things, her culture. So I'm saying that's wild to me. Also kind of explains to me how they started getting better. They started picking up ringers. They started picking up kids who weren't in the American soccer system. Also explains how they started getting better. Makes a whole lot of sense to me. We got this person who identifies as a British person, learned all of their soccer tools, and then came to play for us. Now makes sense how we got so good at it. This makes a lot of sense. We weren't doing this in 1994. We weren't doing this in 1998. We can't let Messi go back home. Messi's kids, they have to be American now. They have to be.
Like I said I guess it was Thursday, not Friday, this is relatively commonplace in the soccer ecosphere. It's actually more commonplace in Olympic sports than you think, too. Like how Joel Embiid played for Team USA. This is kind of the game you play sometimes with the top talent.
Joel Embiid's a little bit different. Joel Embiid lived in the United States at one point and graduated from an American high school. Like, Joel Embiid lived in America. Like, was here, lived, went to prom in America. Like, this person did not do any of those things. That's what I'm saying. Hey, if that's the rules for the World Cup, great. Everybody is following these rules. Sounds like everybody's picking up ringers for the World Cup. I can appreciate that if everybody's doing it. I mean, sounds like college athletics to me. That's something I can identify with. Hey, you want to come play with us? Hey, come here. Sounds like he got recruited by 3 different countries, and we won the recruitment. There were 3 hats on the table, and he picked up the U.S. hat to come play with us. That's great.
That's 1,000% the best. That's the best analogy possible.
That's what it was. They had 3 hats on the table, and the U.S., I'm sure they were all pitching him. I imagine he's not playing on the team for free. I imagine they're paying him something. He's getting something for it. And hey, look, he's their best player.
Because other countries have been in these recruiting battles before. The United States doesn't usually win the recruiting battles all that often.
You don't know how much it warms my heart right now to see that the text line is so down on you. Why is Rob such a downer?
During the World Cup.
Did you not see Spain almost lost to Cabo Verde? The fact that people are so down on you when your stance is just the United States is not going to win the World Cup, it really, really, it warms my spirit. Normally, that's my role on the show. That's my role. Chiefs will go 3-0. Hey, I don't think they're going undefeated. Oh, how dare you? So it makes me feel good that right now for the World Cup, I'm not in the hot seat in really any capacity. I'm not in the hot seat for the World Cup. The text line knows I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the World Cup. The text line knows I have no clue what's going on. I'm just doing my best here over these next couple of weeks. It's either that or talk about the Royals.
I can't believe the text lines do this to me. 2 weeks ago,
you're negative.
2 weeks ago, I said quarterfinals would be a great moment. I think they can achieve it.
People don't want that anymore. People want to win the whole cup.
And the same text line. I know it's not a monolith. The same text line.
Flo Balgren, 3 countries, 1 cup. That's what he's playing for.
They said Rob's being too optimistic. The U.S. national team will disappoint. Even after the Paraguay game, they're like, oh, Rob doesn't know what he's talking about. They're going to lose now because they always lose. It's not even a fun tournament because the United States has no chance. That was the text line 9 days ago. And now I'm saying they've closed the gap on the world.
Have you not been watching?
They're closer than they've ever been before, but there's still a gap that exists. And it's, whoa, stop being a hater, Rob. Embrace the soccer. What has happened to the text line?
Yeah, I'm serious.
I liked it better when they hated this sport.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I think you're hating, honestly. I think you're hating. I think you are a hater. And I'm happy that the text line finally notices it. If you want to talk about more haters, let me play this news story for you. So if you've been downtown and around FanFest, you have probably seen there's a lot of people on the corner selling jerseys. I almost bought one of these jerseys. I was kind of looking. I was like, hey, that Messi, you look kind of official. I asked the woman how much it cost. She said $60. I was thinking about getting one of those Messi jerseys. Well, you know what? The government, they're trying to crack down on these.
That $40 World Cup jersey on the street corner looks great, but federal agents are warning it could be counterfeit, and buying it could be doing more damage than you think. Last year alone, federal authorities seized more than 276,000 sports items worth over $33 million. And with the World Cup here, they expect more. U.S. Customs warns that buying counterfeit goods can fund criminal activity, including forced labor and human trafficking. So here's how to spot a fake. Look for sloppy stitching, blurry logos, and missing security labels. And if the price seems too good to be true, it is. If you want something authentic, make sure it's an authorized retailer.
Hey, man. Now, I can't assume. But if you see them selling Chiefs jerseys or soccer jerseys on the side of the road, you have to know they are not official. You're not. Come on now. If you want the official jersey, you know where to get the official jerseys from. Go to the mall, go to Rally House. I mean, there's places selling the official, but if you buy this jersey and there's no receipt attached to it, you got to know that you're getting the knockoff jersey. I just don't think the people buying the knockoff jerseys really care that much. And I think trying to scare the people that are buying the knockoff jerseys by telling them that your money is now going to aid sex trafficking, I don't know if that's the way to really try to push this thing. I don't know if that's the way to do it. This kind of reminds me of back in the day when they tried to tell us like all the dangers of like downloading and pirating music. Remember that? Like they used to try to tell us like, oh, well, if you download this music off Napster, look at all the negative ripple effects. And you're thinking it was free for me. That's the most positive benefit. This feels like this is a fanatics-led push by the United States government. I don't really have any interest in getting one of the real soccer jerseys. I don't care enough to get the real soccer jersey. I'll get one of the fake ones, though. I'm going to the game on Saturday. I'll get one of the fake jerseys. They're down there. How much they got? They got a little deal on them. Sometimes the best T-shirts you get at the concert are the fake knockoff T-shirts at the end of the concerts. Everybody's seen T-shirt man outside selling them 2 for $20. Get you a little t-shirt outside the event. Because inside the event, they charge you $70 for the t-shirt. You go outside, they charging you 2 for $25. He says, make me an offer on a t-shirt. No. You will not shame us. The same way that people are coming over here and they're celebrating our culture, part of our culture is buying a t-shirt from T-Shirt Man. It's going over there and they selling something on the corner. You go over there and you get yourself a fake Patrick Mahomes jersey. I'm here to protect that. Go over there and get the knockoff jersey. Go get the counterfeit jersey. All right, coming up on the other side, let's talk about one of the top stories in sports today. Michigan is looking for a new head coach. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Maybe you're looking for something local. Algeria versus Austria. Currently, if you're saying, hey, you know what? The team over in LFK, what do I like for them? Well, Algeria currently trading at 25%, meaning a $100 trade, could show you a $365 profit. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time only, download the Kalshi app and use code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around, or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state, only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut on State Line, June 25th with the drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 9. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
This afternoon, expect a partly sunny day with a high of 78.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
You guys don't know how warm my spirit is right now, seeing the text line just cook Rob right now for saying that the United States is not going to win the World Cup in soccer. Oh my goodness, it makes me so happy. When you guys turn on Rob, it really makes me giddy. The text line so often is against me. The text line so often, sometimes Rob will say things and the text line will be mad at me for Rob's opinions. I'm sitting there thinking, I didn't say that. Why are you throwing me in the mix? So the fact that you guys know I don't really know anything about soccer and basically have just kind of given me free reign to get off whatever sports take I have and are now blaming Rob for his sports takes. Oh man, I'm going to really enjoy the next month of shows. I really am going to enjoy it. Now maybe this is where you get mad at me. So, we just had a game on Saturday here in Kansas City. It was the Ecuador-Curacao game. So I'm watching the game, and at halftime, it's 0-0. And I tell Rob, I text him, I'm saying, oh, Ecuador is going to score here. Like, they've been getting a lot of chances. They've been getting a lot of opportunities. So I placed a small wager on it. And I'm like, you know what, let me watch it. It's in Kansas City. We only got, 4 more of these. Let me lock in. That next 45 minutes was hell. Because Ecuador kept having chances to score, but just didn't score. The one guy, what's his name? Room, the Curacao goalie, one of the greatest goalies I'd ever seen. He was like Spider-Man. He's just going around making all kind of plays. Rob knows that I wagered on the game. Not that much. It was like $10 or whatever. Rob then sent me a text and said, that was a great 0-0 tie. I gave him the thumbs down emoji. Don't text me no nonsense like that. If you're trying to sell me 0-0 ties as being fun, I can't wait till soccer's out of our lives. We only got a couple weeks left. I know some of you, this might not be your favorite time in the sports calendar, and that's cool. I've been enjoying the World Cup, and I'm cool with you selling me a lot of different things. I'm not here to argue about the hydration breaks. I actually don't really mind the hydration breaks. I think the cup has been fun. I can't wait to see when we get to the knockout round. Like, I've enjoyed the World Cup so far. You can't get me to be on board with watching 0-0 ties. I can't do it. Somebody's got to score in this game. Curacao, they only really had one opportunity to score in the second half. They were playing too much of the second half to make sure that Curacao or the Ecuador didn't score, which was meaning that I didn't cash my bet, which means that I didn't cash my ticket. And I was upset. I really was. I was upset. So now seeing you guys be mad at Rob, it makes me emotional, honestly. It really makes me emotional to see that you guys have turned on Rob.
Listen, I don't mind. The text line gets on me sometimes. When I say Kenneth Walker's overpaid, I get it. It's going to be an unpopular
take. You did have
take.
a rough 2 weeks of Chiefs take, according to the text line.
When I say, hey,
I support all your Chiefs takes.
I don't think they should have traded up in the draft. I get it. I understand. When I say things like, hey, Kansas basketball's good, and they're going to be a Final Four type of team, Darren Peterson's a star. I get that non-KU fans are going to come after the takes. I cannot believe saying positive things about the U.S. somehow isn't positive enough, and that has them cooking me. Hey, they're going to make a quarterfinal, tied for the best ever run in the tournament. Rob's a hater and a loser. What? How did we get here?
I mean, I've known these things for quite some time, so I'm happy the text line knows. Someone said, CDOT, let us know what games you're betting on so I can know when to bet a draw. That would actually be the smartest thing that you can do. If I take a team on the money line bet, it's absolutely going to be a draw. Or if I plan on making a bet, but I don't know what time the game starts, whatever I was thinking about doing, it's going to hit. It's going to hit every single time. For sure. So, I mean, I'm here to help you. I'm learning this in real time. The only thing I know about soccer at this point is I know the offside rules pretty clearly. I don't really know anything else. I'm learning everything else in real time.
Also, circling back, it was a great 0-0 draw. You saw one of the best goaltender performances of all time from Curacao. He had, 16 saves, 15 saves? He was a wall back there.
He was great. He absolutely was, for sure.
It wasn't like Ecuador was just kicking the ball around, 50-50 possession, no attacking moments, expected goals were 0-0. Ecuador was pushing forward. There were moments, there were opportunities, and great goaltending. I don't know why you're anti that.
I like soccer best when they score. That's my favorite part of the game. That's my favorite part. Like in football, there's other things that I like. Like it's not just the touchdowns. I mean, the touchdowns are really cool, don't get me wrong. But, when somebody has a really good contested catch, when the quarterback scrambles around and makes a throw and the wide receiver puts 2 feet down and catches it on the sideline, when there's a big hit and it just gets the crowd energized. Like there's a lot of little things about football. You can shake somebody, a good stiff arm. There's a lot of little things about football that I enjoy that nobody necessarily scores. In soccer, the part that I like most, maybe the only part that I really enjoy, Rob, is when they score. So if there is a game that I'm watching where they don't do a lot of scoring, it's usually not going to be one of my favorite games. In basketball, a lot of other cool things can happen. In soccer, for me as the casual, the uber casual, the coolest thing that can happen is when they score. So I like it when they do that. I need more of that in my soccer. I like sprinkling that. You can't have too much scoring to me in a soccer game. So these 0-0 ties that you're trying to sell me, they're not really doing it for me.
I just telling you, not all 0-0 draws are created equally. Sometimes it's what we had Saturday. Sometimes what we had when Spain played to a draw with Cape Verde, where it was like Cape Verde was doing nothing. They had no interest in scoring. That was a fun, open game on Saturday. Just one didn't end up in the back of the net. You must have really hated Tim Howard's performance in 2014.
I don't even remember it. Someone said, CDOT, so you don't know anything about soccer, but you're still betting on it. I got to get through this somehow. You think I'm watching this for the love of the game? No, come on. I got to get through it somehow. It's honestly helped me learn who's good and who's not good based on the likelihood of them being able to score. Like, oh, okay, I'm looking at all-time goal scorers. I'm like, oh, I've heard of him before. So, yeah, no, it actually has helped me. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like I'm out here wagering big bucks on soccer. I'm not wagering too much on something I don't know anything about. But sports gambling has absolutely made the World Cup more fun for me and much more enjoyable. It has definitely made this a much better experience for me as the casual, having a little bit of money. So when I am watching the games and I am rooting for someone, it has made that more fun and more enjoyable for sure.
Well, you got a week before the knockout round, so that's your time.
I can't wait.
You're
Once
gonna
we
be in
get
heaven.
to somebody has to win this game, oh man, I'm going to dominate it. Do people make brackets for the World Cup?
Yes, I actually did one for the Euros with some people from 91.
Can we do one?
We
can.
for
the when we get to the single elimination?
100%.
Because I have watched enough of these teams that I feel like I kind of know who's going to win and who's not going to win. I can't really tell you why a team wins versus why another team wins. Like I can in other sports, like, oh, well, they play really good defense. Oh, this team can stop the run. I can't really tell you why one soccer team is better than the other soccer team, but I have watched enough of them that I can tell you who I think is going to win and who's not going to win. Or who is pretty good defensively and who's not good defensively. Like, oh, they don't really allow a lot of goals. I do think I know enough to be able to navigate this thing. And if this is anything like March Madness, the people like me are usually the ones that win these kind of things. I'm the person that gets all these things right because I don't know.
You probably will. If we do a bracket, you probably will win.
Of course. For sure. I mean, that's what I'm planning on. So let me know. If you can print it out, we can have a little printable version. I would love to fill out a bracket I've never filled out a soccer bracket before. So I'd be very thrilled to fill out a round of 16 bracket. We can post it online. I'll let people see my picks. We can do that. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Daniel Sperry is going to join us on the show. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star. We'll ask him, is the United States good at soccer? And how does he feel as we're about halfway done with group stage? That's all coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers! It's what you are!
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Now, while I might not know a whole lot about soccer, I do think I know a whole lot about good barbecue. As somebody born and raised in Kansas City, I feel pretty knowledgeable to speak on this. And that's why I'm here telling you to go stop by and see my friends, our friends, over at Gates Barbecue. With 5 locations around town, you are never too far away from that classic Gates taste. And right now, we got a lot of tourists in town. We were talking about that earlier today. Well, you know what? The tourists are going to Gates. I was just there over the weekend. It was a 30-minute line outside. People in there just so happy to try some of the original Kansas City barbecue. So be sure to go stop by any one of the area 5 locations. And when you're in there, make sure you get some of those fries. You got to sprinkle it in the sauce. Also, make sure you get some of that burnt E-Mac. I'm telling you, absolutely delicious. Well, maybe you don't plan on going to any of the stores right now. It is a little bit hectic with everything going on right now, but you got to go to the grocery store, right? Well, make sure you get some of that Gates seasoning. I've been using that whenever I cook breakfast. It's absolutely fantastic. We got the 4th of July right around the corner. Make sure you get some of the sauces and seasonings for your barbecue. Make sure you have that for your cookout with your family and all of those things. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here letting you know as we are celebrating Kansas City, we're celebrating our culture with the world. Be sure to celebrate Gates Barbecue.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
Feeling the squeeze of high prices? Then stretch your budget this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Stock up and save big with 99-cent deals throughout the store. Get special recipe brats, pork loin ribeye, Dole salad kits, and more for just 99 cents. Fill your cart for less with red-hot deals on hundreds of items. Order online or through the Hy-Vee app and leave the shopping to us. Don't miss the 99-cent sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their Match Day Meat Bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Rob is so angry at you guys on the text line. He just made the unilateral decision to push the guest back to 3:30. It's just, I don't know why you guys upset Rob. I need Rob to be at his best. He just was like, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. What? Wait, that's your job to tell me. It's like, oh, we can just talk about Dusty May then. Okay, I guess so. I don't have a choice. Thought we were going to be talking to Daniel Sperry. I guess we're not going to be. Guess we have to talk about something else. All right, let's talk about Dusty May. I'm sure by now you have seen it. Dusty May, he was the head coach at the University of Michigan. He is no longer the head coach at the University of Michigan. He is now the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Yes, he is now in the NBA. I want to play this for you before we get going. Here is Adam Finkelstein. He is with CBS Sports. He thinks that Billy Donovan should take over at Michigan.
Yeah, it's Billy Donovan or it's Mike Boynton, in my opinion, because to Cobb's point, like the college coaches who already started practice, I was told that was a reason why John Shire's interest in this Dallas job really dissipated, because he got on the court with his team and he said, no, I'm staying here. And I think that sentiment is one that's going to be shared by a lot of different coaches, especially when you're talking about a move within college basketball. So I would find it very unlikely that at this point in time they would get a high-profile sitting college head coach to make a change. So really you're looking at the NBA. Billy Donovan's the most obvious candidate, or you promote from within. I will also say that if Billy Donovan or someone like that in the NBA realm who can come in immediately, remember we just saw Mike Malone go to North Carolina in this cycle, retaining Mike Boynton will then become absolutely critical. Remember, this is a Michigan staff that has already had some attrition with different people taking head coaching jobs. So maintaining whatever sort of continuity they can find within this roster, because you have Elliot Cadeau, you have Trey McKinney coming back, you've brought in JP Estrella, you've brought in Mustafa Cham, and there are schools throughout the country who are chomping at the bit in order to get their hands on these guys. There's a lot of schools that still have holes in their roster, money to spend. It was just a matter of not enough players on the board. We might have just gotten a handful of big-time players.
All right, so let's dive right into it. I guess I want to start this conversation by saying this. This is where I don't think the public is very fair. No one is mad at Dusty May, even though this is going to be his fourth different coaching job in 4 years. No one is mad at him for that. I'm not mad. He did exactly what you're supposed to do. He moved his way up as an assistant. He was at Eastern Michigan, Murray State, UAB, Louisiana Tech, Florida, then got his chance to be a head coach at Florida Atlantic, guided that team to a NCAA tournament berth, guided them to their first ever Final Four, and then parlayed that into the Michigan job. At Michigan, he won a national championship, was a phenomenal coach at the top of everybody's list, and now gets an opportunity to coach in the NBA. I'm not mad at Dusty May, but I do think we have to be fair where we vilify these kids for doing something very similar. You can't leave your college basketball program on June 22nd. You're locked in at this point. You can't transfer. Coaches can still transfer. He took another job. And we think in theory you could go grab somebody else if you really wanted to. So I just want to point that out. I know the text line doesn't care about that. The system is unfair. All of that. I get it. I'm just saying we can't be mad when these players are doing the exact same thing that these coaches are doing. They are playing the money game. They're trying to find the best possible location to go, and they're making moves that are in their best interest. So if it's got to be good enough for the goose, it's got to be good enough for the gander. I don't really have a problem with that. That's number one. Number two. Now this goes along with, I guess, number one. I feel like coaches are now starting to take the easy way out. So this is from Jeff Goodman. Friend of the show? We count him friend of the show?
Yeah, that's a friend of the show.
So this is Jeff Goodman. One source very close to Dusty May on the main reasons why he has taken the Mavericks job. Quote, the state of college basketball and not knowing what it's going to look like tomorrow, in a month, or in 5 years. All right, timeout. The state of college basketball? Why do we keep making it seem like the rules are so confusing now in college athletics? It seems pretty straightforward to me. There are no rules. You need to figure out a way to generate as much NIL money as possible. You take that NIL money and go get players with it. What do we keep talking about? This state of college athletics, the state of college basketball. You got offered a better job and more money. But no, we got to blame the state of college athletics on why you took this. You get a guy like Nick Saban who's in his 70s. Oh, well, the state of college athletics. Bro, you got offered a $4 or $5 million job to work 1 day a week with far less travel and less stress. You're in your 70s. It's okay if you wanted to take this job, but on the way out, we don't have to make it seem like it's just complete and total anarchy in college athletics. No, he got a better job. The Mavericks job is better than the Wolverines job. He got more money to leave that job. That's one of the reasons why he took the job. And then the second reason, which I thought immediately when I saw that he took this, it's Cooper Flag. Now, you might not think the Cooper Flag is the next best thing, and that's fine. I think NBA people and basketball people, they feel very strongly like he is next up. And we see one of the main factors if you're going to take one of these jobs is you got to have that guy already in place, or you need to be with an organization that is willing to give you the time to potentially go find that individual. Cooper Flag is 19 years old. 19. He is already, or was, one of the best teenagers we have ever seen in the NBA. At 19 years old. In fact, he was 18 years old at first. He became 19 during the season. He averaged 20 and 7 rebounds and 5 assists on 47% shooting as a 18-year-old. So if you give Dusty May that guy, and now my responsibility is A, to continue to help him develop, which I don't think is that hard. You've already been developing college kids. I'm now going to give you who would be a college junior and ask you to help develop his game. I think Dusty May's pretty qualified to do that. And now we got to put the right parts and the right pieces around this individual to help him grow and help him develop. I think there's a chance that the Mavericks have a star at both head coach and also on the floor. So that's a win. And if you have that already in place, it allows you to be able to swing big. It allows you to be able to go talk to John Shire. Hey, do you want to come coach in the NBA? Do you want to coach your former player? If there's anybody that knows how special Cooper Flag is, it's you. You can go to Dusty May, who is probably pretty happy in Michigan. You got a chance to come to the NBA, and you got a chance to coach this guy. I'm assuming you know him very well. You were at Michigan, so you're recruiting the top of the top. So I'm imagining you saw a lot of Cooper Flagg. We're going to give you the opportunity to coach him. Good. It's a great gig. It's a great job. I'm happy you took that job. Last thing here, Robin, I'm curious to get your take on it. I got a little bit of pushback on social media, but it's whatever. I think this has an effect on Kansas. Like, I think if you were making a list, other than Michigan, obviously they are the program most affected by this. Who are the programs that also get affected by this? I think Kansas is on this list. Like, if I asked you to make a short list of who you think the next coach is at Kansas, you would probably have put Dusty May on that list. Like, it's not a very long list of people that you think, A, are good enough and qualified enough to be the next head coach of Kansas and fit all of the criteria you would need to be. If we're saying outside the building, because I know that Jock Vaughn's on that short list, Jeremy Case is on that short list. I'm talking about guys right now not associated with the program. If you were going to swing big, everybody's available. I think Dusty May either would have been first on that list or second on that list. Now, Tommy Lloyd is still on there. He just re-signed to Arizona, but he's kind of negotiated his contract in a way that if he really wants to take the KU job, he could take the KU job. Other than that, the only other college coach that I think Kansas would have realistically considered, I think it was Dusty May. I think that's the only current college coach that you probably would have been open to coming to take over the KU job.
I agree, but I'll say this. I think KU fans today aren't that upset about it because let's say he kept the program up and running and humming at Michigan. It might not be a guarantee that you can pry him away. But now let's say he goes to the league and struggles. It's not impossible to leave. We've seen college coaches leave the college game and go to the NBA and struggle. Now, we've all seen them go and be successful. Billy Donovan is successful or was successful. Brad Stevens was successful. I mean, it's no guarantee that going to college is good or bad. But I think KU fans quietly view this like, oh, we might be able to get John Calipari type. We hope he goes pro. We hope it falls apart in Dallas. And in 2-3 years, the stars align. He's fired by the Mavs. Bill Self retires. He would still be the top or one of the top candidates. A failure in the pros does not mean that you can't coach basketball. So I don't know that KU fans are as down on this as they were. I still think Tommy Lloyd is option one, and you're right. He removed the Big 12 clause from his contract, which KU fans got excited about. But I think Dusty May remains on the short list because there's no guarantee he will be successful at Dallas.
Yeah, someone on the text line put Dusty May a bunch of question marks. Quit playing C-Dot. Dusty May is a better candidate than Bill Self was when Bill Self took the Kansas job.
By a wide margin. He's a national title.
I don't know if Kansas is going to hire a coach better than Dusty May. Like, even if they get Tommy Lloyd is not a better coach than Dusty May. Now, if you hire Tommy Lloyd, that's obviously a home run hire. That is a great hire. But Dusty May is 49 years old. He has taken 2 separate programs to the Final Four. One of those programs was Florida Atlantic. He has won a national championship, won the Big Ten. He has a career 70 win percentage. He's won 70% of his games and is 12-3 in the NCAA tournament. I feel like that's a really good hire. I actually don't know if you could make a better hire than that in college basketball than Dusty May. So if Bill Self had said, I'm stepping down, I would have told Kansas the first person that you need to call is Dusty May. Now, I don't know if Dusty May would have taken the job. Maybe he always had his eyes set on going to the NBA, which certainly makes a lot of sense. And I'd rather have the Mavericks job than have the Kansas job, really any job in college athletics. But yeah, the Dusty May, I think he's one of the best young coaches in the sport right now. I think if you were trying to think realistically of who Kansas would go hire if Bill Self said, I'm stepping down at the end of the upcoming season, I think the list would have been Dusty May. I think it would have been Ben McCollum at Iowa. And I think it would have been Tommy Lloyd. I think those would have been the 3.
From outside the building.
From outside the building. It was like, maybe you would call Iowa State, but I don't think the Otzelberger leaves that job to take the KU job. Maybe he would. I doubt that he would go. I think those 3 guys are probably the realistic first calls that you are making if you're trying to lure one of those guys out of there. And 2 of those guys just got a contract extension. That doesn't mean you can't leave, but they just got a contract extension. One of those guys is now off to the NBA to go coach Cooper Flagg. I'm assuming Cooper Flagg is going to keep getting better, that in 2 years, Dusty May is not going back to college because he might have things up and running with the Dallas Mavericks and with one of the very talented young players in the NBA. All right, we moved Daniel Sperry back to 3:30, so he's going to be on the show coming up in about 15 minutes or so. We'll get his thoughts on the World Cup. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Liberty Mutual customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid at Rob Seid Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Seid Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Seid Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Seid Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, or robseid.com.
Buy right, Rob Seid.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Ins 8-1 exclusions apply.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Odyssey Sports is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by N Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
I'm Kiara Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut on State Line, June 25th with the drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 9. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Good afternoon. New crash down near Olathe 35. It is northbound just past 151st. Left lane is blocked. A little slow back into Gardner. Southbound side, a little slow as well. The crash still working. 152 Highway westbound up at Hampton. Left lane blocked. Downtown with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. If you missed it, the text line is very mad at Rob because Rob is echoing the sentiments of Tim Howard. Here is what Tim Howard said.
The U.S. cannot unequivocally win the World Cup. The U.S. will have to play the greatest game they've ever played 3 times in a row. Sorry, 4 games in a row. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It is literally impossible for the U.S. to win the World Cup. That's going to come across crazy. People are going to say I'm whatever. That's just the reality. But we're super excited for this ride we're on.
Rob, is Tim Howard the greatest American soccer player? I know that he's a goalie, but would people say that it's Landon Donovan? Like, who is the person that the public would say? Because Tim Howard has to be pretty high on the list, right, of greatest American soccer player.
He's definitely on the list. Probably him, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey are probably 3 that spring to mind immediately. There's some other older ones that are good, but that's probably the list of 3, those 3.
I do think this, and I'm trying to see it through a fan lens, a fan perspective. Like, to put this into like a context I would understand, I don't think Missouri is going to win the SEC. But you know who I don't want to say that? I don't really want Chase Daniel to be the one to say that, you know? I don't really want Jeremy Macklin to be the one like, hey, y'all good, but y'all really ain't got no chance to win. Like, sometimes it's the truth, but it's who says the thing. So I would kind of understand if you're a fan and you're excited about how the United States is performing, you're excited to watch the next game, and your favorite player and or possibly the best player that you've ever had just go on a podcast and said, there's no way we can win. I can understand how you're a little mad at that opinion. And sometimes maybe you just shouldn't say it. I mean, I get it. It's the media. You should be allowed to say how you feel. And sometimes I give opinions and I just got to live with the fact that you guys are going to be mad at the opinion that I have. Hey, I don't think the Chiefs are going to win this week. Oh, you guys get all mad about it, but I got to tell you the truth. But I made the decision. I'm willing to live with you being mad with it. I can't tell you if Tim's okay with that or not. But also, like, I don't think I'm a representative for anything. I think Tim is a representative of something. He's a representative of United States soccer. So you being the voice of not believing in the team, I do understand how people are disappointed and frustrated by him offering up that opinion.
I get that as a person who is worn the crest, the whole deal. He also, in the same cut, though, says it's going to be an amazing ride. And I didn't clip it, but he at one point was talking to Landon Donovan in the podcast and mentioned you can absolutely see this team being in a quarterfinal, which would be the best they've ever done. This is the equivalent of who's the best Missouri basketball player of all time? Anthony Peeler? I'm not. Yeah. Let's just say Anthony Peeler. Or Kareem Rush. He's more modern, whatever. Let's say Kareem Rush on a podcast and he said, I think Mizzou's going to make the Elite Eight this year. Are you going to be upset by that? Or are you going to be like, oh, that's actually a moment of excitement?
Yeah, but this is why, though. And I understand it's I'm just following the thing, though. I would be frustrated if Kareem Rush picked them to get up to the Elite Eight and then didn't pick them to get to the Final Four. I think what people want from Tim Howard is to sometimes you got to sell the public good news. If Tim Howard just comes out and says, hey, I'm encouraged by what they've done so far, and you never know it's a single elimination tournament, anything is possible, you didn't really offer up any opinion, but you also didn't throw salt on anybody's excitement. You also didn't rain on anybody's parade. You just gave a nothing statement. Of course, it's a single elimination tournament. Anything can happen. Yeah, everybody understands that. But I guess I don't really know what's gained by certainly the greatest goalkeeper that the U.S. has ever had and one of the greatest soccer players that we've ever had. I just don't really know what the benefit is on a podcast saying it is literally unimpossible that his team, who he represented, can win. I just don't know how that helps anybody.
I just think I think he is doing a little bit of hyping up with the first part about, hey, quarterfinals in play, and also trying to stay grounded in realism.
I guess maybe just to clear this part up, like, I don't think the average soccer fan knows what that means. I also don't know if the average soccer fan knows that they've never gotten past the quarterfinals. Like, just think about it. If you said quarterfinals in college basketball, people would be like, huh, what? Oh, Sweet 16. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the furthest they've ever gone? So, yeah, I do think that's part of it. I think when it comes to that, I do think that's part of it with Tim Howard. In the end, it's a sports opinion. What does it really matter? You didn't hurt anybody by this sports opinion. You're a representative. Like, Tim Howard is somebody that the U.S. would have come speak to the soccer team. You played in the World Cup. You know what it means to be in the World Cup. You don't think they have a chance to win? Sometimes, you know what? You just got to lie. Sometimes you just got to be dishonest. That's the way that it goes. We're going to have Daniel Sperry coming on in just a little bit. In the meantime, I want to play this for you. I would say right now the two top stories in sports are both basketball stories outside of the World Cup. One is Dusty May, who Dusty May is now leaving Michigan to go be the head coach in Dallas. I also think it's Giannis. I think Giannis could get traded either by the end of business today or by the end of business tomorrow. Here's Shams.
Bucks executives are literally right now in their offices figuring out which direction they're going to go, because there are two offers right now that it's come down to at a serious and significant level. That's the Celtics offer led by Jaylen Brown, who's a superstar. There's other additional pieces of that deal, or an offer from the Miami Heat that it consists of several players that you have control over on rookie scale contracts, guys that you can extend at a reasonable number, and a surplus of draft capital. And so they're two totally different offers. The Bucks are trying to navigate internally. Which direction do we go? Everything that I hear, all of my sense in my reporting is that there will be a decision before the NBA draft. There's going to be a resolution before the draft. So I think over the next 24 hours. So yeah, as soon as today, there's going to be a resolution. This has been something that's been going on for 13 months, but at a serious level since February, when the Bucks took a bunch of calls, got a bunch of offers that really laid the groundwork for what we're seeing right now. They've done the work.
That was Shams on the Pat McAfee show talking about Giannis and where he could potentially land. We'll get back to that here coming up in a bit. But let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Daniel Sperry. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star. He also is our World Cup correspondent here over these next couple of weeks. Daniel, man, happy to have you back on the show.
Great to be chatting more about the World Cup. I mean, we feel like we've got a heck of a last week in the tournament and here in KC.
Absolutely, Daniel. So let's start here. I asked Rob this question. I'll ask you. You are two big soccer fans. Are we, the United States, good at soccer? I don't think I've ever considered the possibility that we could be good at soccer, but just given how they played so far in these first two games, it's at least a question worth asking.
I think the short answer is yes. I mean, I think the way that they've played, I feel like we've always had decent players, and it's always been. Feels like, though, a lot of individuals that pop up in great moments and have great moments wearing the jersey for us in World Cups. But to have like a whole team play in the manner that they do, part of it's coaching, part of it I think is the talent pool. We have so many players playing in the top 5 leagues and have done so for now 2 World Cup cycles worth of their pro careers, a lot of these guys. And I think that's really showing up in the quality that we have up and down the roster. And you've got guys that even when they do break through, and they may be unheard of names like an Alex Freeman. Alex Freeman broke through in MLS just last year, and for him to already be playing in La Liga, he scores against Australia. He's been one of the better defenders on that team, and is having a great moment. I mean, that when guys break through into a group that already has that baseline of talent, then you know what kind of level you're getting from those guys. So this has been it's been a blast, a great ride for the U.S. so far. The teams have not been the strongest, but they're doing what good teams do to the not strong teams, and I think that is why that's why you're seeing the performances that you are out of them.
Right now, we're joined by Daniel Sperry. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star. Daniel, what do you think about this third group stage game that they have? Because they don't need to win, but you obviously want to keep momentum. How do you think they play it?
I think they do some smart things, right? Do you want Pulisic now to, big question for me is, do you want Pulisic now to miss 2 straight games before all of a sudden dropping him into a knockout stage game? I don't think that's the greatest use of it. Now, do you throw him on for a final 30, 15 minutes of a game like this to kind of ease him back in if his calf is responding well? You do something like that. You definitely don't start him at this point. You don't need the result. Also, your question is, do you give guys like a Weston McKennie or a Tyler Adams or even an Anthony Robinson, like those 3 guys are on yellow cards, and if they pick up a yellow card, they're missing the round of 32 match in that knockout stage. And do you want them to do that now? Do you want them to, or do you want to potentially miss them for a round of 16 if something happens? And I think there's going to be some balance and rotation that they can do. Sebastian Berhalter, I think, has showed himself well so far. So I could see him stepping in for McKinney for, 60 minutes or so. And I'll be interested to see what kind of rotations he has like that. Do you keep the older legs of Tim Ream a little bit of rest and throw another defender in there who, like Austin Trusty, who might need some reps to kind of stay fresh in case there is a suspension to someone on the back line for the knockout stage. You don't want to be throwing guys in cold situations. So I think this will be a good game to not only get some experience in some rotation, but also manage the injury things like Pulisic and the yellow cards in a way that works the best for them in the long term. So I don't expect it to be a full strength lineup, but I do expect them to go out and have a good game against a Turkey team that is very talented, but certainly playing well below the ability of the sum of their parts.
Right now, we're talking to Daniel Sperry here for a few more minutes, just getting his thoughts on the World Cup, talking to the United States, also talking about the games here in Kansas City. Daniel, how would you explain how the United States is in this position? Because I'm sure you got a lot of casual soccer fans. You got a lot of people who don't really keep up with soccer that are just keeping up with it for the World Cup, and they're learning a lot of these things in real time. If you had to explain how the United States got to this point as soccer very quickly to somebody who doesn't really understand it, how would you explain it to them?
I think it's years of investment in player development, not just within the United States, but also in knowing that when they've reached kind of a peak in their development in younger years, they're sending them on to Europe to develop them even further in places that like Juventus or like Weston McKennie played at Schalke in Germany for a very long time. Pulisic played at Dortmund, coming through the academy ranks. Chris Richards went from FC Dallas Academy straight to Bayern Munich as a 17, 18-year-old kid. Those types of throwing people into the deep end for development overseas has really brought up the floor of the talent level. And then you throw a very talented group of players with a coach that has a very high tactical acumen like Mauricio Pochettino. You get these players that are ascending and kind of towards the peak of their careers with a manager who can take them probably farther than many managers in the world. I mean, we're talking one of the best managers in the world, period, and in Pochettino. And it's just been the right recipe at the right time for the development and having this very high-level manager in charge of that group right now and bringing them all together and getting them also to play for one another and really buy into playing for the guy next to you. It's very relational in how they do that. And that's also very Argentinian of Pochettino. That's the way the Argentine national team is. And so he's kind of borrowed some of those concepts, I think, in creating that team chemistry and that bond between the group. And it's helping them ascend to levels that we haven't seen, I think, as American soccer fans, both diehard and casual in the U.S. before.
We have another World Cup game coming up on Thursday. It is going to be the Netherlands going up against Tunisia. What can you tell us about that matchup?
Well, it's an interesting one because it's kind of like the USA and Turkey. Like, Netherlands is for sure into the knockout stage at this point. They've got 4 points and they have a +4 goal differential. They will need to score as many goals as they can, though. Japan, who tied them, is also in the same spot. They have a +4 goal differential, and the first tiebreaker is wins. His head-to-head. Well, they tied 2-2. And then the second tiebreaker is goal differential. Well, right now they're tied on goal differential. So for them, their job is to win against Tunisia by more than Japan could win against Sweden. So it'll be one of those where I think that the Dutch bench, someone on the Dutch bench is going to have the score for the Sweden-Japan game going on in the background, because they're going to need to know exactly, do they need to push for more goals to top the group to avoid second? There's no way at this point that they could get third. I think it would be kind of surprising if they did. But it's certainly a spot for them where they do need to get a result to ensure all the way through to the knockout stage, but they definitely want to be first in the group. And if they can do that, they're going to try and score goals. So I expect the Netherlands to come out and kind of try and take it to Tunisia, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Daniel, do you think that a 0-0 game can be exciting? Because Rob is trying to tell me how exciting Saturday's game was at Arrowhead, and my American brain is just thinking it was a 0-0 game in which nobody won and it was a tie. And he was like, man, that was a great 0-0 draw.
It was the best 0-0 draw I've ever covered. I've unfortunately covered quite a few of them in my lifetime. But the goalkeeper, I think what for me sets it out there as making it a good performance is, like, Ecuador didn't play bad. Ecuador played really good. And when Curacao got on the ball, they were very fun, very technical. They got forward. They had their moments. There's a definite, like, skill gap between Ecuador and Curacao. But Eloy Room, the goalkeeper, did a Tim Howard level performance. He had 15 saves in 80 minutes of soccer, not the 90. He had 80 because Ecuador didn't get a shot on target for the final 10 minutes plus stoppage time for him to make another save to try and equal Tim Howard's record from the 2014 World Cup. If you remember that game, USA and Belgium, it goes to extra time. Tim Howard had 12 saves through the regular 90 minutes of the game and then made 4 more for the all-time record of 16 in a match. But he only had 12 in regulation, so technically Eloy Room's performance with Curacao had more saves through 90 minutes than anyone has ever had in a World Cup game. And also you kind of have, this is what makes the World Cup great, is you have a group like Curacao who they're just happy to be there, right? I live in Olathe, and I was walking in to an Old Navy on Saturday, and there are 4 people randomly in Curacao jerseys getting out of their car or getting into their car from Old Navy. And I asked them, I'm like, you know, are you guys going to the game? And they said, yes, we flew in from Curacao tonight or this morning. It's a 6-hour flight. We got here at like 10. And so we were just getting some jackets in case it rained. And I was like, well, can I interview? Can I talk to you guys? And the way they're so proud of their team just even getting to this point that they scored their first goal, even though they got throttled by Germany. They were so happy just to, like, be there. And so for them to get a tie, get a point in the World Cup and get a result that's not a loss, is a big deal. It's the smallest country ever to qualify for the World Cup, and they held Ecuador, who was, for a lot of people, one of the biggest dark horses in the tournament, to nothing. And so I think that was, I think that's what made it special and fun. I think more of the sickos and diehards of soccer will have felt that was fun compared to maybe the casual fan. But I think there was so many storylines that eventually emerged out of that game. The King and Queen of Netherlands were there that made it about as special and fun as a 0-0 draw could be.
Are you going to this, what do they call it, the Orange March, the Orange Army? Some big gathering of Netherlands fans are going to be walking downtown. Are you going to that?
I am, because it's a sight to see. It kind of really started to take off especially through social media, at the 2024 Euros in Germany. And so they're planning on doing the same marches here. They've already done them in Dallas and Houston. The Netherlands team is based here, so there's already quite a few Dutch media and fans out and about, and so it's going to be quite the party. It's a different party than the way Argentina was. If you saw them down on the Plaza or on Southwest Boulevard the night before their game, or even saw their stuff at Arrowhead, how insane their atmosphere was. It's going to be different, but it'll have its own really special thing, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for Kansas Citians to kind of see this just giant mass of orange shirts, orange hair, orange whatever they can, flags, kind of dancing and doing the songs as they march down the street in Kansas City.
That is Daniel Sperry joining us on the show. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star. He has turned into our de facto World Cup correspondent, educating me on everything happening in the world's biggest tournament. Daniel, man, I appreciate you. We'll catch up with you after the 2 games this week at Arrowhead.
No problem. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. That is Daniel Sperry joining us on the show. He covers soccer for the Kansas City Star. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Mia from the Winnings Desk. Every Missouri lottery ticket helps support Missouri public education. Over $8 billion and counting. I was going to list every school, but yeah, there's over 2,400 of them. See the full list at molottery.com/education. Play it forward and play responsibly.
The world's best soccer teams know success comes from having the right lineup on the field. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. By bundling 2 or more policies, such as auto and home insurance, you can simplify your coverage and potentially earn a multi-policy discount. It's a smart way to save time, reduce costs, and keep everything under one trusted team. Visit AAA.com to build your winning lineup and see how much you could save with AAA Insurance. That's AAA.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Taking a look at the pro football futures market, Tennessee making a huge move this past weekend, signing its star defensive tackle to a 3-year contract worth $100 million guaranteed. But does that mean Tennessee will have a great year? Tennessee's win total 6.5, slightly juiced towards the under, and I do like the under on Tennessee, even with a young, exciting second-year quarterback. Bottom line, I don't trust this Tennessee coaching staff. We saw the head coach in New York, and it didn't go well, and the offensive coordinator. Give me the under 6.5 on Tennessee. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a low of 60.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match results bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wait.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by Anthony Plumbing. We've got the crash near Blue Springs, and it is 70 headed to eastbound. Just before you get to 7 Highway, right lane blocked. Scoot to the left through here, North KC, 435 southbound just before front. It's a stall off to the right shoulder, some onlooker delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
To you guys, I'm sorry. Rob is my guy. He knows it. Watching Rob get cooked on the text line for not believing that the U.S. can win the World Cup, it has really made my day. I've had a good day today. I really did. I got up early, got a very productive walk. I got my 10,000 steps done just all at one time for the day. Let me just go ahead, wake up early, knock it out. I don't got to worry about it the rest of the day. We're off at 4:30. I had a good breakfast. Rob and I were building earlier, just, hanging out. But nothing makes me happier than watching Rob get cooked on the text line. Let me read this text to you. Rob, you need to adopt this guy's optimism and realistic views. Honestly, I feel bad for you, Carrington. The impact of Rob's pessimistic views and the effect that they have on your emotions must be gruesome. I wouldn't blame you if you just hit the dump button on his negative ass. I need more of those. I'm happy that you guys see Rob for who he truly is, a hater. It's cool when he's hating on Mizzou. You guys laugh, ha, 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 key, when Rob is hating on us. But now that Rob is hating on one of his own, he's hating on the red, the white, and the blue. Oh, this is just what I needed, Rob, to see the text line shift in real time. You see, I haven't said anything about the World Cup. I haven't said anything about the United States. I want to see them win. I'm enjoying what they're doing so far. I'm hopeful. That's all you got to say. But no, you got to be on the same side as Tim Howard. This is treason. Benedict Brinson is what we're going to start calling you on this show from now until you change your ways. What are you going to say when they're in the Final Four, when they're in the World Cup final for a chance to play for that gold trophy? You're going to hop on the bandwagon then? No. If you love USA Soccer so much, name 3 hits. You can't. You're a Johnny-come-lately fan. I'm happy that the text line is pointing that out.
What's that? It's a Hannibal Buress gif. I don't know where it's from, where he says, "Why are you booing me? I'm right." That's how I feel right now. Hey, guys, they can do the best they've ever done and make the quarters. Oh, we hate you. Be better. Stop being a hater. I'm right.
I love
They can have the best tournament they've ever had. They've closed the gap. They are closer now to the top teams than they've ever been in the history of U.S. soccer. They're just not France. They're not. They don't have a Kylian Mbappe. They don't. I'd love if they did. Oh, we would do a lot of U.S. soccer on this show. I would be sure of it if they had a Kylian Mbappe type, but they don't. They don't have that guy. It's okay. It's fine. I want them to have that guy, just they don't.
C-Dot, thank you for being the only patriotic member of the show. We appreciate you, Carrington. Thank you for all you do. Rob, we ask you to do better. Somebody else on the text line called you a commie. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
The same people that were mad we talked soccer last week are now telling me I'm being a hater.
Yeah,
what a
now
wild
they can win the
pivot.
World Cup.
What a wild pivot.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Rob, let the Chiefs go 2-0 in those first 2 games against the Broncos and the Colts. The text line will be back for sure. Because I would say right now, honestly, for maybe the first time since you and I have worked together, the text line's kind of split on the Chiefs.
It really is.
They're kind of split on the Chiefs. There is a portion of the text line that believes the Chiefs are going to bounce back and it's going to get right back to old times. There is another portion that is honestly kind of pessimistic on the Chiefs right now. Hey, they didn't do enough. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do this? The AFC's a lot tougher. Let the Chiefs start off 2-0, and I want you to come on here as they get ready for that game against Miami and tell people to pump the brakes. You think the text line is like this right now for USA Soccer? Be the one to come on the radio and do that week 3.
To be fair, the opposite could be true too.
You might get traded.
If the Chiefs start 0-2 and you're like, hey guys, there's actually some positives, the text line will cook you for being too positive when they're 0-2.
Oh, for sure. Oh, 100%. The text line, whenever the text line is crushing a team, they absolutely want you to jump in. Mm-hmm. They want you to jump in and start beating up on them too. And you'd be like, wait, I actually don't think it's that bad. They'll get mad at you for saying it's not that bad.
It takes 2, though. Because remember the year they lost the home opener to the Lions? It was like, hey, there were some problems.
Yeah.
Shut up. They're still the best. Last year, 0-2, the sky was falling.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, this is great. Keep these kind of texts coming. We're off today at 4:30 for the Royals. Jack Caglione might hit another home run today. He's actually been very, very good. I was listening to the midday show earlier. They were having a conversation. Should Jack Caglione participate in the home run derby? Like, that's where we're at in the baseball season. Hey, you know what? This Jack Caglione thing, it has been working out. Rob, I would say that today we have learned 2 things about the show. We have learned 2 things. Number 1, you are a communist. That text line is saying that. People are saying.
People are talking.
People are talking. And the text line also pro counterfeit jerseys, which I am also in favor of counterfeit jerseys. Now, I'm in favor of counterfeit jerseys depending on the situation. Now, would I get a knockoff Lionel Messi jersey? Would I get a knockoff Kylian Mbappe jersey? Sure. Going to get the knockoff Patrick Mahomes jersey is a little crazy to me.
It's misspelled in the back.
Yeah, you can tell when somebody's Chiefs jersey is fake. They go on sale too much. We live in Kansas City. You ain't got to get the one with the actual stitched on numbers, but you can't get the real official Mahomes jersey. Come on now. I can't have you walking around Kansas City with the fake Chris Jones jersey. It's one thing to get the fake Lionel Messi, the fake soccer jersey. How many times am I going to wear that soccer jersey? You think I'm wearing that soccer jersey in August? Absolutely not. I'm wearing that soccer jersey just for this World Cup.
I will say, looking at some of the fake soccer jerseys I've seen in town, they do a pretty good job of faking it up. You see one of those, fake Chiefs jerseys, you can get one of those tents on the way up, on the way up to Arrowhead on Eastwood Trafficway that says things like Kelsey with an S. Those look bad.
Someone said AliExpress got me so bad back in the day. I got a Gerard Dyson jersey. Come on now. Come on. Number one, you thought there were official Gerard Dyson jerseys, and you already know what you're getting from AliExpress. You get one of them AliExpress jerseys, you know that thing is falling apart after one wash. That is a one-time only move. You know those jerseys ain't real. I don't got no problem. This is the thing, though. I know we're running up against it, Rob. I don't mind if you wear the fake jersey. You just can't go around acting like you got the real thing,
You can't have Kelsey with an S and a Super Bowl patch. It can't be both ways.
Yeah, you can't have both. I don't mind it, If you want to wear the knockoff Jordans, that's cool. But don't come to me like I should be impressed that you got the knocked off jersey. Come on now. You're doing a whole lot there. Somebody said they got a fake Laurent Duvernay Tardif jersey. That's crazy. You walking around with the fake LDT uniform. You got to go to prison. I don't know what to tell you. You got to go to jail. You got to go spend 30 days with Rasheed Rice. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about the World Cup and the effect it's having on the city. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by Anthony Plumbing. We've got the crash near Blue Springs, and it is 70 headed to eastbound. Just before you get to 7 Highway, right lane blocked. Scoot to the left through here, North KC 435 southbound just before front. It's a stall off to the right shoulder, so on delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Now, while I might not know a whole lot about soccer, I do think I know a whole lot about good barbecue. As somebody born and raised in Kansas City, I feel pretty knowledgeable to speak on this. And that's why I'm here telling you to go stop by and see my friends, our friends, over at Gates Barbecue. With 5 locations around town, you are never too far away from that classic Gates taste. And right now, we got a lot of tourists in town. We were talking about that earlier today. Well, you know what? The tourists are going to Gates. I was just there over the weekend. It was a 30-minute line outside. People in there just so happy to try some of the original Kansas City barbecue. So be sure to go stop by any one of the area 5 locations. And when you're in there, make sure you get some of those fries. You got to sprinkle it in the sauce. Also, make sure you get some of that burnt E-Mac. I'm telling you, absolutely delicious. Well, maybe you don't plan on going to any of the stores right now. It is a little bit hectic with everything going on right now, but you got to go to the grocery store, right? Well, make sure you get some of that Gates seasoning. I've been using that whenever I cook breakfast. It's absolutely fantastic. We got the 4th of July right around the corner. Make sure you get some of the sauces and seasonings for your barbecue. Make sure you have that for your cookout with your family and all of those things. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here letting you know as we are celebrating Kansas City, we're celebrating our culture with the world. Be sure to celebrate Gates Barbecue.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut on State Line, June 25th with the drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 9. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500.
Mike's got this.
Join 96.5 The Fan at the Peanut on State Line, Thursday, June 25th, as C-Dot and Rob broadcast live starting at 2, with kickoff to follow at 9 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
We are having such a glorious day here on the drive. I asked Rob earlier if the United States is good at soccer, because I've never seen this before. I never seen them clearly win 2 consecutive World Cup games. In fact, the United States has never won back-to-back World Cup games. No draw. I mean, outright won back-to-back World Cup games. They've never done it before. They have now done it in this World Cup. They haven't been in control in both of these games. They basically have just been 2 one-half games. The Paraguay game, it was 3-0 at half. Rob, you and I weren't even watching the second half of the game. We're just laughing and joking at the peanut. We're going to be there on Thursday. And then for this game, they were up 2-0, and Australia never really challenged in the final 45 minutes of that game. So I came here, and I don't know. I'm just asking Rob, hey, is the United States good at soccer? Rob is excited about it, but Rob says, you know what? Pump your brakes a little bit. He still needs to see some more. And he sounded a lot like Tim Howard.
The U.S. cannot unequivocally win the World Cup. The U.S. will have to play the greatest game they've ever played 3 times in a row. Sorry, 4 games in a row. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It is literally impossible for the U.S. to win the World Cup. That's going to come across crazy. People are going to say I'm whatever. That's just the reality. But we're super excited for this ride we're on.
And the text line wants Rob to have a little bit more hope, a little more optimism, a little bit more enthusiasm as this tournament is getting going. I have enjoyed the World Cup so far. I've been wagering on the World Cup, just little sprinkles here or there. You know what? Just to make it a little bit more fun and enjoyable for me. I actually think I have a good idea of who's good, who's kind of pesky, who's a sleeper. I really have been following the World Cup. I've been watching it just about every day. I've been keeping up with the results. I have a good idea of who's on what team, what countries are good. I'm proud of how I've been following the World Cup. Now, we're getting close to the knockout round. The knockout round, I believe, starts on Sunday, either Sunday or Monday. Like we're almost done with the group stages. The U.S. has already played 2 games. Their third game is on Thursday, and that's it. You only get guaranteed 3 games when you make the tournament. Outside of that, it's kind of getting how you fit it. So I feel very qualified to discuss this World Cup. I'm already number 2 on the soccer list. I might be number 1 by the end of this thing. I certainly have passed Rob. I'm not here discounting the United States in the World Cup. We're the home team. We've got the fire, the grit, a bunch of gym rats, guys who are playing for the name on the front of the jersey and not the back of the jersey, some guys with some very high soccer IQs. I think we got a chance. Rob doesn't see it that way. Rob thinks eventually they're going to run into one of the powerhouses. They're going to run into a Spain or an Argentina, and Rob's not giving them a chance. Rob, did you just see who won the college football national championship? Was it not Indiana? Can you imagine if I had told young Rob Britton, hey, one day the Indiana Hoosiers are going to win? You're like, hey, well, who did they beat on the road? Well, you know what? They beat Oregon along the way. They beat Miami along the way. They beat Ohio State along the way. You'd have been like, no chance. Well, it happened. Why can't that happen here? Why can't the United States prove people wrong? Why can't they exceed expectations? The text line believes. I believe. Why don't you believe, Rob?
I cannot believe you've painted me into being anti-U.S. soccer, anti-United States men's national team believer, when a month ago you were painting me as the optimist doomed to, Charlie Brown try to kick the football. I don't think it was post-Memorial Day, and you were making fun of me for believing in the team, and here I sit 20 days later.
Now. Back then I hadn't seen him play. Now I've seen him play a couple of games. I've seen him dominate the rest of the world. And now I feel like bring on all comers. You saw what they did to Australia. If we could beat Australia, we could beat Argentina. If we could beat Paraguay, we could beat the team that represents Paris. That's how I see it. You don't see it that way, though.
I just painted into a corner for being the negative person when I say the United States has a chance to go further in this tournament than they've ever done in the World Cup and make the quarterfinals. I've been the one screaming from the top of my lungs to the golden generation. Can they do something special? They're on the brink of doing something special. I'm telling you, they're closing the gap on the world when it comes to soccer because they're playing at the highest levels internationally. And I then turn around and say, but there is still a gap. They're not France. They're not Spain. They're not England. They're not Argentina or Brazil. But I promise you they are closer to that than they are Paraguay. And somehow I've become the hater. I said it earlier.
For sure.
I said it earlier in the show. I'm the Hannibal Buress meme. Why are you booing me? I'm right.
The text line says, Rob, did you know that Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson? Did you know that the undefeated New England Patriots lost in the Super Bowl? These are all things that I'm sure wise guy sports hosts like you came and said there's no chance. But that's why we watch the game. That's why we love sports. Anything is possible. This could be one of the greatest sports stories that we've ever seen, but you're not going to be able to enjoy it because you're not a believer. We can move on. The text line is saying you're anti-USA. They're saying if you don't like it here, maybe you should leave. That's what they're telling you. It might be time for you to relocate. I know you're looking for a new home. Why don't you consider Toronto?
The same people that when I talked about the U.S. national team a month ago and said, hey, this big tournament's coming to town, I think the U.S. can be good, and called me a hater and called me, hey, an idiot for supporting the team. And why would I
Text line did hate the World Cup like 3 weeks ago.
They were They hated
the World Cup.
They hated the World Cup. I did 5 minutes on here's who's on the national team. They might be pretty good. And it was, shut up, Rob. This team's going to fall on its face. It's your Mizzou. You're so stupid for supporting them.
I never said that.
That same texter is like calling me a commie because I don't have them in the World Cup final. What a pivot.
I've never said some of those things. I don't even know where you're getting that from. It's fake news. That's what the mainstream media does. They try to put words in your mouth, and it's fake news. I've never said any of those things. I've been nothing but supportive. This whole time with the World Cup, I've been so thrilled about having all these international visitors.
I've never heard the sentence, the World Cup is a scam on this show.
I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from. Someone said Rob needs to start running his opinions through the Common Sense Commission. Exactly. No, that's exactly what I was thinking. Why don't we talk about the World Cup and how it's being perceived here locally? We're about a week and a half into the World Cup. I've got some thoughts. Hit it, Rob.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrying the hits are brought to you by Jungle Law. Call the lawman today at Jungle Law, 816-816-9111. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, it's time to call the lawman. And be sure to watch the lawman get roasted for a good cause Saturday, August 1st at the historic Uptown Theater.
The text line is really fun right now. CDOT, does Rob know that Norfolk State once beat a 2-seeded Mizzou? We didn't have to go there. Why? That's the analogy we decided? What made you decide to use that verse? Why? That's the analogy we're using about the underdog? Come on now. You gotta be better. Someone said Rob is the biggest American villain since Ivan Drago. Another person said Rob is the kind of guy that would change the McDonald's fry recipe. He hates apple pie. I bet he dislikes fireworks too. I've been trying to say this entire time. I've felt this way for a very long time. I couldn't say it, but you guys can, and I can read it, and I can share it with Rob. I don't even know if Rob has a text line up at this point. So if you want to text it in and you want me to read it for Rob, I'm very happy to do this. Before we sign off for the day, I feel like this is a very, very important message. I don't know if Kansas Cityans really understand that we, in fact, do have touristy places. I don't think that we really view our place in that way. And it's not a touristy place in the same way that Bourbon Street is, or Beale Street is in Memphis, or other places, the Las Vegas Strip. I'm not saying it's that, but if you are not from Kansas City and you are trying to check a box of things to do while you are here, the Plaza is one of the boxes to check. Downtown is one of the boxes to check, especially because they have Fan Fest right there next to Union Station. It's the streetcar. It's all of those things. Barbecue. We have amazing food. But when you go out of town and talk to people about the food in Kansas City, this is no disrespect, but you don't talk to them about Garozzo's. Amazing restaurant. Who doesn't love Garozzo's? But that's not what you talk to other people about. You don't talk to other people about Stock Hill that are not from Kansas City, but you do talk to them about Gates. You do talk to them about Joe's and Jack Stack and these places. So if you are not from here and you are coming here for the purpose of celebrating soccer, also celebrating where you are, you want to know where you're going to go? You're going to go to the touristy places. And we now have two examples of when the tourists are here, the tourists have told you where they want to go. Now, I understand that originally Visit KC or the World Cup Commission, whoever it was, but they made us think way more people were coming than are actually here. Now, you can't say that it's not a lot of people here. It certainly is a lot of people here for the World Cup, but it is not overrun the way that we thought it could potentially be. I would say for the most part, the World Cup is fairly contained. If you don't have to go downtown and actually where the World Quarter hub is, or are you not going to the game, or you're not going past the stadium because you live out that way, I don't really know how much the World Cup is affecting your day-to-day life. For somebody like Rob that lives in Kansas and works in Kansas, I don't really know if your commute is that much affected by everything that's happening with the World Cup downtown. Like, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. We were talking about it like a potential doomsday scenario. That's not how it's been so far. I only bring that up is because I understand the news. Like, I do the same kind of job, so I get it. Sometimes you kind of got to sell the negativity because you know it gets people riled up. But I thought this weekend that the local media took some of the low-hanging fruit stories when it comes to this, just because at this point, if you do this job enough, you know what gets the text line riled up. You know what gets the internet comments riled up. You know what stories people are going to share and what people are going to talk about. There was a story in the Kansas City Star, and this story was about a local French coffee shop in the Crossroads. Now, I don't know the owner. I got nothing but love for all small businesses, and I get it. It is tough to A, open a restaurant, I get all of that. But you were sold a dream that I thought was pretty obvious a year ago was not going to be the case. All of these people were not coming, and the tourists have told us the parts of the city that they are going to. They're going to the plaza. They're going to Westport. If you're from out of town, you know where I'm coming in to do? I'm coming in to do the event that I am here for, party, eat, and drink. And the tourists have told us what parts of the city they want to do this in. Now, we're going to have the Super Bowl at some point. I don't know when, but at some point in the next decade, Kansas City will host a Super Bowl. And you already know we're going to make it seem like everybody is going to win because the Super Bowl is here. I am here to tell you that will not be the case. That unless you run a business in one of the touristy places in the city, you are probably not going to see a huge windfall by Kansas City hosting the Super Bowl. So you should not think that your small coffee shop in the Crossroads, you should not think that you are going to get some massive boom because of the World Cup. You are not going to get one. You know what is going to get one? Jack Stack at the Freight House. You know what is going to get one? Foot traffic inside of Union Station. You know what is going to get that? Gates or Joe's or people wanting to go see the touristy icons in the city, not your small business in the Northland. No, you are not getting a boom for the World Cup because you're not really near where the World Cup things are happening. So to see the media, I think, running to these kind of stories, I thought was a little bit of low-hanging fruit. Here's one of those stories from 41.
If you're local, keep coming to your local establishments. If you take nothing else from this report, that's the big highlight. I spoke with two local businesses in the Midtown area who told me that the downtown action, it's not really coming through their doors. One of these business owners, Good Karma Coffee behind me near 31st and Gillum, says he never really focused on the World Cup action to begin with. But the other says he was expecting World Cup crowds. But both visitors and locals aren't walking through his doors as of late. So at Good Karma Coffee House, the owner, Brian Roberts, he admits people thought he was crazy for not leaning into all this World Cup tie-ins. Instead, he leaned into his Hyde Park and Union Hill regulars. He even told them months ago that his spot would be a safe haven from the tournament crowds. But just a few blocks away on Main Street, Hammer's Dueling Piano Bar started opening early to capture game day foot traffic that never came. Co-owner Brett Dowell says street carts have been driving by full, but hardly anyone's stepping off near where he is in Midtown. Both of them agree locals are steering clear because they think it's too busy, but that's not necessarily true because a lot of the party has stayed downtown.
You can watch the streetcars come by just filled, but nobody's getting off at other locations than downtown, Crossroads, Power and Light.
Locals will show up and they will support us as long as they've gained that trust and we haven't burnt them chasing shiny objects.
I just think that there were a lot of places that saw this World Cup as being their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and thought that everybody was going to get rich because of the World Cup being here. Now, there are certainly some people getting rich off the World Cup. Like, you've seen the crowd. Those people are staying somewhere. They are eating somewhere. They are drinking somewhere. But they have created a hub. I live downtown. I don't really know why you would venture too far away from downtown if you are not from here. Again, I'm not calling it the Las Vegas Strip, but a lot of people go to Las Vegas and never go off the Strip and have a really, really good time. Now, if you go to Las Vegas, you know there are certainly a lot of other really cool places to see and things to do and places to eat offside of it. But usually, you kind of got to go to Vegas a couple of times before you experience those things. But your first time going there, and what will likely be your only time going there, a lot of these people are never coming back to Kansas City. These are not people that are coming every summer for things. These are not the people that will be here for the next Plaza Art Fair. No, they're here one time. So I'm doing the touristy stuff. The city tells me to ride the streetcar. I'm riding the streetcar. What's on the streetcar line? Well, it stops right at Fan Fest, and it's free, and they have concerts for free. I can see Flo Rida. I can see Sheryl Crow. I can see the Chainsmokers. Great. Well, where do I want to eat? Oh, Jack Stack is right down the street from here. Why don't we go over there to eat? Oh, I can take the streetcar line. Oh, the city market is right here on the streetcar line. I can go right down there. It's not that far from where I'm staying. I'm only bringing this up because the tourists have told us where they want to go. There are some amazing parts of the city. Amazing parts. Waldo, the Crossroads, Zona Rosa. There's a lot of amazing, cool communities. If you're not from here and you're only here for a small amount of days for the World Cup, I just don't know if you're venturing out to go to those places. Those are just not the places that the tourists have told us that they want to hang out at. So when we get the Super Bowl, or when WrestleMania is here, because we know we're going to get these things with this new stadium, you'll see the same round of stories. Everybody thinks they're going to host a watch party. Everybody thinks that no, you're probably not going to do that. Who would go to a watch party in KCK for the World Cup? Especially when I see on television and they're showing me what the watch party looks like downtown. That place looks live during the USA games, during the big games. You then see all the parties going on right now in Power and Light. I want to be where the people are, where the energy is high. Nobody is going to KCK to watch these games on television. Not at all.
I feel like, I was talking to the boss about this earlier, and I think me and the boss came in the same opinion. I thought the city would be overly crowded and they would fan out because of the level of crowds. I was wrong. There are a ton of people. They are basically condensed to the streetcar line.
For sure.
If it's, what's that street? I don't know what the stop is, right next to like Power and Light and Sprint Center. You ride that either direction, it's full.
Packed, for sure.
It's always full. I was downtown Friday, I was doing stuff. It was full. But you know what? My commute to work hasn't changed at all. Went out to dinner with the wife.
You can't even tell that the World Cup is here if you live in certain parts of the city.
I went to dinner with my wife over the weekend for our anniversary. There were flags of the countries of the restaurant I was at. Other than that, no change. Just a regular dinner out with my wife in Overland Park. Didn't feel a thing.
Rob, I know we don't have a whole lot of time left. Is it possible that when it's all said and done, that we'll look at Kylian Mbappe as the greatest soccer player of all time?
Yes, it's possible. He scored again today.
He's amazing. He's incredible. Have you seen the goal he had?
I have it on back here.
That's an amazing goal. Amazing goal to me. Amazing. All right. Well, you know what? We're off early today. We're off early for the next couple of days. Our schedule is actually kind of weird this week, but you know what? We are here nonetheless. We'll be here tomorrow.